Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Yay! So sorry we missed each other last week. I was so busy. It was a crazy few days. So just to summarize a little bit, I've been away in South Carolina, helping with my mother-in-law for just a couple weeks to give Hannah a break. And then on the heels of that, we had Memorial Day weekend and a wonderful time of remembering those who have served and died for our freedom. And then my husband came up for that, or down for that, and then we kind of traveled to Georgia to try to find one of my children housing. Thankfully, after really two long days of searching, we were able to find something. Not cheap, but we did find him housing, which is an answer to prayer. Thank you for many of you who prayed for that specifically. We really needed some kind of supernatural help, to find the right fit, and I think we nailed it. So that was a relief. And then the second day after that was just running all over town, and that was Friday, just doing last minute, getting papers to people who needed them, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then driving back to South Carolina, and then the day after that driving back to Maryland. So in that last, I don't know, the week or so, I've been trying to re-enter, life at home again, try to make sense of what I left behind. And I'm looking around my room, looking at all the undone things. They're just calling out my name, but not complaining. It's great to have work, so I'm really blessed by that. So my just working on my re-entry days, visiting with another sweet son of mine and his wonderful wife, and for the last few days here. I think I drove more than 1,100 miles. Well, either rode or drove, but mostly drove more than like 1,100 miles in the last, I don't know, week or so. So it's really nice to just sit and have a nice chat with you guys today. And also this week, my sister took me to this delightful Irish tea and talk at a place called Stratford. Wait a minute. Ah, well, anyway, a place locally, and where a wonderful woman named Jo Morrison played a Celtic harp while we ate Irish little snacks and tea, and it was really a lot of fun. Great time with my sister, who's one of the most generous people I know on the planet. So it's so good, so good, so good, so good to be back with you guys. So let me just go ahead and say hey. Let me go ahead and reorganize this from. All right. Okay. I don't know, why is that way down there? That's really weird. Okay, there it goes. We have Leanne. Hey, Leanne from the Isle of Wight. So glad that you could be with us. And Linda, our Brat's mom. Thank you for being there from Southwest Chicago, where it's warm and sunny. And Alana, and she says she looks like they're going to have a hot summer where she is. Yeah, it's been on the warm side, but I'm back home in Maryland, and we have this delightful cool front that came with all the rain a couple days ago, and it's just been delightful outside. I was out driving yesterday. It was just so wonderful. No AC, just enjoy the nice cool air. I know that's not going to last long, but I'm enjoying it while I can. Let's see, we have, oh, thank you, Linda. She says, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you can. That would be great. It just helps the little bots to do something in the background that I have no idea what they're doing, but it does help my channel. So thank you if you can consider that. Hey, love to craft. Good to have you here. And Jacqueline um, from hot and sunny Los Angeles. And Kelly watching from Tucson, Arizona. She says, can't wait to see what you have for us today. I have a ton of stuff here to show you. I can't wait to show you what I got. I mean, it's not all new, but it's a review that I think, it's so easy with the millions of things that get put up on YouTube. It's really easy to forget some of the oldies but goodies that are available right now. You don't have to wait for anything. So, well, let's go ahead. I want to say hey to some of you guys. That's more important. I'm going to say hey to some more. Wanda Gordon from Bahama, North Carolina. Hey, my friend. And yes, doing well. except for a back. The back is coming. I think the back's. I was fine when I got to Maryland, but for whatever reason, my back decided it needed a sabbatical, so it went somewhere else for a few days. But it's coming back. I'm moving a lot more easily now than I was. Doesn't take me 5 minutes to unfold myself to a standing position anymore. So I am thankful for that. It's just something that comes and goes with age, I suppose. Probably more comes than goes. But anyway, um, let's see. Kelly says that she is crocheting ponytail holders. Well, that's cool. I don't think I have any of those on my on my site, but my daughter used to make those quite a bit. Um, we have Sandra. Okay, oh good, Hannah's here. Um, Hi Hannah. Thanks for being with her, honey. I know you're doing double duty, helping me and helping Grandma at the same time, so not a problem at all. We have Sandra Harper from Inland Empire, California. Wow, guys, thank you so much for your super chat donation there. Heather, let me go ahead and write that down to my tally here. Heather just added $20. Thank you so much, Heather. That brings us up to $75 for our next charitable donation. I so appreciate that. And just to let people know, um, what that's all about. Whenever people donate to the super chat, I'm not soliciting that you do that, but that's just something that's there. If you do that, 100% of those proceeds go towards a charitable donation. It's either going to be Rancho 3M or Samaritans, not Samaritans, Shriners Hospital for Children. And right now, while I can, I am matching 100% and matching that amount to go towards Samaritan's Purse for the field hospital in the Ukraine, which is on the ground, boots on the ground, helping people from that fiasco over there. So, anyway, I don't want to major too much on that. I don't. This is a happy time, but we understand there's stuff going on, and we're not oblivious to that. It's just that we want to help, where we can, and I think that's something that by the grace of God, I'm able to do at this point in my life. So thank you for helping me with that and for spurring me on. Thank you so much, Heather, for spurring me on personally to be more generous, just like you guys. Um, oh, we have Jan in the chat. Hey, Jan, and Lynn, my sweet friend, my super duper encouraging friend. From Chicago, always got an encouraging word for it, not just for me, but for everybody around here. I can't wait to meet you, gal. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna rock it wherever we decide to get lunch or whatever someday. Um, hey Judy, so glad to have you here from Brazelton, Georgia. I need to find out where that is and see if we can meet up sometime on one of my Georgia trips. We have Brenda Mack from Idaho. She says, finishing the final round of the Cables Meets Lace cape as we speak. Wow. Cables Meets Lace. I know what that is. That's in one of my books, right? I think that's in the Contemporary Celtic Crochet. So thank you for your support and all that you guys do. We have Belladry from sunny California. Glad you could join us. That's the first time I've seen your name in the chat before. Forgive me if I've missed it in the past, but welcome to my channel. And we have Jane Scott saying hey to everybody. She says it says good to be here on this beautiful sunny and breezy day in Derbyshire, UK. Wow, thank you for joining us all the way across the pond. And Kelly says it's 89 degrees. Hope it stays that way next week. We're supposed to get rain. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of that here, but it's been great. Yeah, I see hand. Oh, Archer and Ace, thank you. My goodness, thank you for your donation. I'm just seeing that now. Thank you for you've been there every single week. So that brings us up to 85. Thank you so much. And one thing I didn't mention is that whenever we go over the $100 mark, I come up with a song of some sort. Sometimes it's silly crochet parody. Sometimes another tune of some sort, but it's just kind of fun to do that. It makes me do a little bit of practicing on the side and trying to generate some creativity and another arena for you guys as well. So even though it's not for super Anyway, it's always just fun for me to do that. Let's see, who else do we have? We have thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. She's just hoping, praying that my back feels better. It does already. It's just I just have to work out the stiffness. It gets better every day. I felt it coming on, and part of it I think was coming off of a 450-mile drive that I drove. All the driving I was by myself, and the car that I drive is fantastic as far as that goes. It's very supportive on my back. That was not the problem, but I was already tired from all the activity. And then the next morning at church, they were a little bit short on setup crew, and I went in with my husband to help out. And I think I unfolded at least 100 chairs getting set up for the service. And I think I learned my lesson that it's nice to be generous, but don't be stupid. So I'm not doing that this week. I can't do that anymore. I think I'm younger than I really am sometimes. So stupid sometimes reigns, and that's what happens. Your back responds and saying, "Hey, don't do that." So you're not 15 anymore, huh? So more like, well, anyway, we won't get into the age thing, but it's a blessing. But we have limitations, and it's wisdom to know those limitations. All right. Let's see. I'm catching up here. We have Judy Quillen in our chat. Iris, okay, I read that. Okay, I'm catching up. I'm way behind here. Oh, we have Brenda Solomon in the chat. Hey, it's good to see you, Brenda. And Deborah from sunny South Louisiana. And Wanda, Crochet Done My Way, Wanda, my truck driver friend. So glad to see you in the chat. I really hope you're doing well. I don't know if you're going to Crochet Guild or not, but I really hope we can see each other. And let me go ahead and mention that while I can. All the information that I'm going to mention is in the video description should you need links to check on anything. I try to do that. And if you need to see where the links are, below the video and below some introductory, the title, it'll say show more. If you click on the show more, it'll open up all the links. If you're viewing from a phone, there'll be a little triangle that you click on, and the triangle rotates, and then a lot of information loads. I know it's tricky to figure out where all these things are, but hopefully that will help. And if you go to my home page, you can just click on my little circle picture there. It'll take you to my home page. And I do have, right as the top video is an intro, kind of to show you how to navigate the channel, how to find different videos that I have. And it also shows you how you can speed up or slow down the video. Should I be just talking away and crocheting away way too fast, which I've done on more than one occasion. I'm guilty as charged. You can slow me down, so you can cut the video to 3/4 speed, half speed. You can make it really slow if you want. So you can do that. So that check out that video on the home page should you ever need help in navigating this. And this doesn't just apply to my page; it applies to all the other channels that you may be watching on YouTube. So anyway, little info commercial there. We have Michelle from Helena, Montana. Hey, Michelle, so glad you could join us. And oh, thank you, Kelly. She says she likes the sweater I'm wearing. This is already on my channel. It's just in a different color. Thanks for saying something, Kelly. This is another version of the summer popcorn yoke top. It's made. This part is made out of universal yarn. I believe Universal Yarn would have a color like the one I'm wearing. This is actually a prototype. It's a little bit bigger on me. So the Universal Yarn, when you use that 100%, works much better. This is some other yarn that I used from another manufacturer. The yarn feels great and all, but it just didn't work as well combining, two different types. But I'm still going to wear the top. This top is still fun to wear. I just have something to wear if I gain a lot of weight because it has plenty of room for me to grow. But even not, it's nice and cool and it's not real clingy, and that's kind of nice. So, but thank you, Kelly. So if you guys check out Universal Yarn's site, I do have an affiliate link in the video description below. But as far as the multicolors for the top part, they have a lot of different hues and different varieties, and it's called the Sock Pop yarn. Um, and it's made out of bamboo, and it's kind of a bamboo cottony blend with some like spandex, which is called PBT. And they have this in solids as well. So I like to use their real colorful one and then combine it with a solid color that will match. And just to let you know, it doesn't have to match exactly. It can be just a little bit off and still look great. So just know that. But they do have the solids that will match these very, very well. And let me just go ahead. I do want to get to saying hey to you guys, but let me show you some of the other summer tops that are already on my channel that have been there for more than a year now. This is Bonnie's Easy summer top. This is made out of 100% cotton. I used self-striping. Now this particular yarn was yarn that's been discontinued, but the model, you'll see this beautiful this beautiful woman who happens to be my mother-in-law modeling it, and it has more of a blues and greens and yellows in the shirt. And I used the painted lace yarn, and all that information of what I used will be in video descriptions of the videos. Okay, so this is one. And just to make this easier, I did post a link in the video description. I know you're getting tired of me saying that. Of the playlist. I'm just picking a couple things from that playlist. It's the summer crochet playlist. If you click on that, all these things that I'm going to talk about are going to be in one list so that you can choose from. So here is the Easy Summer Top. This is made exclusively pretty much using the wattle stitch, W-A-T-T-L-E, which is the single crochet, chain one, double crochet thing. And what's really nice about this is even with stiff cotton yarn, it does have some flexibility with this particular stitch. Okay, put that down. Here's another top. A little more complicated because you have that weed stitch and going up and then splitting at the neckline. This one goes around a little bit on the faster side. I used a little bit heavier yarn. This is a number 2 weight or sport weight yarn for this particular project. And that is in the playlist as well. And let me show you some other fun things. This is an oldie but goldie. This is a summer cabled poncho. And this is doubled. But let me show you real quick what this would look like when you wear it. Phew. Oh, it looks much nicer on my daughter-in-law. She really can rock these kinds of things. So this is just a light little cover, and it's very easy. You can just kind of ball it up and squish it and stick it in your purse or your bag. And it's just nice when you go into a store and it's just a little bit, in the summertime in the South in particular, the air conditioning is like on freeze. It's like on, I don't know, it feels like Arctic conditions sometimes inside for me. So I always carry a jacket or a poncho or something with me. This is cotton, so it's not going to make you sweat. I mean, it's nice. It does have lots of holes, and you may wonder, does that really keep you warm? It's just what you need, I promise. So it's it's a lot of fun, and it's very drapey because it is a really nice cotton. It's a Pima cotton yarn, I believe, by Cascade Yarns. It's a number 2 weight. So again, you can just ball it up, jam it in your bag, and you're ready to go. And if you don't need it, great. There's also some fun scarves. These are made out of bamboo yarn. You can wear them as a long scarf, or you can, double them, and wear it as a short little neck scarf. And here's a fun one using this is using the Good Loops bamboo yarn. I used just 2 little balls of it and made a very long, kind of a long, skinny scarf so that you can wear any number of ways. You're really only limited by your imagination. You can wrap it 2 or 3 times. And whoops, let me try that again. 1. I mean, you can do a lot. Do a lot with this, and it has a nice little sheen to it. And you can these are things that you can also use your scrap yarn. You have just a little bit of maybe a little bit of sock weight yarn and you don't know what to do with it. Make a little scarf. Here is a fun cotton shawl, which again you can wrap it around as a scarf. You can use it as just a light shawl when you go in just for a little bit of warmth when you go into that air conditioning. And you can, again, you can ball it up and shove it in your bag, and just have it just in case. That's what I love about a lot of these. Sometimes I leave a couple of them in my car, just, just in case, because sometimes I forget to bring something, and then, run out of the house, just go in, and I can just run out to the car and grab something instead of having to, have everything at home. Here's another Lacy summer style scarf. Fun bright colors. If you're wondering what to do with your multicolored yarn, make a lace scarf out of it. Very easy. Again, all the tutorials are in that playlist. Here's a more recent one I did for last year. And this is a similar version. This is a stole. You can wear this as, it's big enough to wrap around your shoulders, not get it caught on your chair, but wrap around your shoulders, for a nice little layer. You can also, use it as a nice fun scarf if you like a summer scarf. It's made out of, this is actually local yarn. This is grown in Churchville, Virginia, and this is manufactured by the Sistari company. So the yarn for this was grown and milled and everything right in the next state over from me in Virginia by the Sistari yarn company. And this is one of my favorites I wanted to show you. I have used these for years, and there's a little bit of wear on this, so forgive me for that, a little bit of wear on these cords. But this is a backpack. It's crocheted, 100% cotton. I actually used, the cotton that you guys are familiar with that you can get from, Walmart, Walmart, Annie's probably has it too. Michael's, all those places. This is, the dishcloth yarn, but it's on a big spool. And I just get 2 different colors, and this is just a paracord you can buy at Michael's, and you pull that together and easily, wear this as a backpack. And I have worn these, especially on international trips. So just put what I need in the back and just throw it on my back. That way my hands are free. I can use my camera for photography, or, and it also keeps my belongings a little bit safer. They're going to have to really work hard to get this away from me. Hopefully that'll never be an issue. Hasn't yet, by the grace of God. But, so this is fun. And I love adding little doodads to these, like these little beads that you can get in the beading section of the craft stores. So again, these are all available. Patterns should be available. I think most of these are available in my Lovecraft store. They are in my Lovecraft store. I am starting to add patterns here and there to my Etsy store, because I know some of you like that particular location. And I've also been using it as a backup in case you haven't noticed. And I want to thank those of you who have alerted me that there have been an issue with some of my patterns. It's happened the last 3 times. I don't know if it's just a technical problem on their end, but the Lovecraft's links to my channel, just the new ones, have not worked very well. I will tell you that they are all up and working now, so thank you for your patience on that. I don't know, they may just be having a technical glitch with their designer section. But anyway, so what I'm doing, I am going to be uploading my patterns both to Etsy and to Lovecrafts. I think from this point on, just to try to grow that section a little bit, and also as a backup. So in case there's a broken link in one or the other, or that sometimes the sites go down, they have to take things offline just to repair things. It's just the way things are in a fallen world. And that way, hopefully, if one goes down, the other will still be up. So you don't have to wait patiently for these. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so much. This is actually one of my more fun projects to do. This was just released on Monday, and it's doing very well. And I'm so glad that you guys are making this successful for me. It's been a slow summer. And I get that. I'm so glad that actually, I'm happy that the numbers on viewing on YouTube, I think in general across the board, have been lower. And what that means is that people are getting out and they're living life and they're doing things. And for that, I say hallelujah. And I expected that, but it is also, but it's also kind of fun as a creator to have something kind of get a little more attention again. So it's, it's kind of a balance, and I understand both sides to this. But this is, I just took a pattern that I had, a baby blanket, and just took it to the next level. I made the chevrons bigger, and I had a blast with this. I did use yarn. I was actually stash busting. I had a lot of yarn for another project, and I decided that that project was just not working. So that's the primary reason why I use the number 5 chunky yarn. I use the paint box. I don't have any to show you right now, but it was the paint box simply chunky 100% acrylic yarn. But honestly, you can use worsted weight and you'll get just as nice of a result. And this is a great stash buster. So if you've got a lot of those red heart yarn super saver scans around, you don't know what in the world to do with them, gather them all up, line them up in the colors in an order that you think will look good, and just go for it. That's what I recommend. So this is it. And again, it's easy. I mean, once you get past the first 2 rows, because honestly, you have to establish the pattern and you have to do that correctly. But once you do that, it's pretty straightforward. It is easy. I believe a confident beginner can do this easily. And, it's iconic. I mean, for whatever reason, granny squares and ripples are here to stay. They are the, I didn't do a granny square ripple when I was learning, but I did a lot of ripple afghans, and I did a lot of granny square projects. Not, I did do one big granny square throw. That was my first project, but it was like one huge granny square. It wasn't like putting together 300 squares. I never actually did that. So, but anyway, these just don't go out of style. You watch, sometimes you see movies and things and you'll see these in the background for whatever reason. But I will say that it was a fun project. And the nice thing about this is you can make this as long or as short as you want. There is information in the video description as to how to, if you want to make it even wider than the width that I make this. I think this is, I don't know exactly the width, but it's more than 50 inches wide. But if you want it to make it to be wider, you just add a certain multiple, which is in the video description. And I also say it verbally in the video so that there's no doubt. So you can make this as wide and as long as you want. You're not constrained in any way. So have fun with this one. I really want to make another one just because it's fun. But I generally have been giving away a lot of my extra yarn. But I do have some that I might be able to make another one. So anyway, that is there. Anyway, so let me get back to to see what some of you all are up to here. Love to Craft is watching from a very warm Southern California. We have Stephanie, and is it Odd Napa from Malta, if I'm saying that right? Wow, that is a long way. Thank you guys for watching from so far away. And Deborah says, sounds like an amazing tea date with your sister. She says, I'm so jealous in a good way. Happy for you. Yeah, Deborah, it was fun. It was something that we've had on the calendar for a while. My sister saw that and thought I'd really like it. And I really did. And I learned some things from Jo Morrison. She did a little talk too. I had no idea that during the days of Cromwell, who was in England, that all of the, well, I don't know if I could talk about this too much, but all of the harpists were really targets. I mean, they were trying to annihilate the culture, which to me would have been horrible if they were successful, but they weren't. But maybe that's why some of us who come from Irish descent are so tenacious about some things. But yeah, they burned many of the harps, of the Celtic harps and everything. And as a musician, that just pained me to hear that. But it's just interesting to learn, different things from history, and it makes me want to go read up on this. I think I am gonna go do some more research and see what I can learn about that. Let's see. We have Heather Costantino in the chat and Phyllis Martin. Thank you for joining us, Phyllis. And let's see. I'm finally catching up a little bit. We have Denise Graham from a sunny but windy UK. And Phyllis says, I have about 4 capes. Love doing this. Yeah, capes and shawls and things. It's just fun. I just love doing them. I really do. Um, oh, well, Archer Nay says that she's training for a new position and hours are crazy as far as lunch goes. Wow. Well, I hope things go well for you, Archer Nay. You are so generous to our channel. I really do hope things go well with you. Um, oh wow, Deborah says she has gotten her new Crochet World magazine in the mail yesterday, and there are the cutest little goodie bags to crochet for the kiddos in your life. Wow, I haven't gotten mine yet, unless you're talking about the June one. I don't know. We're already in the June, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're talking about. Um, Oh, thank you for sending the question, Hannah. She said that Denise Graham wants to know how the projects turn out so gorgeously soft and drapey. Hers tend to be a bit stiff. Denise Graham. Well, Denise, I'm not sure what to tell you. I will say 2 things. The yarn is very important. It's you can always substitute other types of yarn, but what the yarn is made of is pretty key, and that's where I've kind of gone to some, dare I say, a little bit snobbier yarn in my recent years because it just works better than a lot of acrylics. But that said, there's some great acrylics out there as well. And I as you can see, I showed you an acrylic project. I love all kinds of yarn, but depending on what you're using, um, the yarn could be the problem. If you're using the same yarn, it could be you need to bump up your hook size just a little bit. Even if the pattern says one thing, make sure that you check your gauge. And that is you're getting the same number of stitches per inch that the pattern calls for. And if you're not, bump up to a bigger size. Usually, if you bump up the hook size, that will give you a little bit more drapiness, even if your yarn tends to be stiffer. But of course, if you're working on a garment, um, you have to be real careful to stay within the parameters of the gauge in order to make sure that the garment fits. So, and if you can always email me, bonniebay@me.com, if you want to send some photos of what you're talking about, and I can take a look at that and, try to give you my 2 cents worth, from that. Um, yeah, so that'd be the main thing is the yarn and the hook and the gauge. Those 3 things are pretty key for that. Um, we have Grace in the chat from Northwest Washington State. She says it's cool and cloudy there. Okay, and Jacqueline says she finally got her yarn for the summer top. Yay! I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. It is thinner yarn if you're using the universal, pop sock stuff, but I can't get enough of it myself personally. I need to go online. I want to get some more colors so I can just make more summer tops because I like wearing crochet better than I do t-shirts, and I need to have more than 1 or 2 so that I can, wear them more often. Um, let's see. We have Aloha Crochet by Naomi. Aloha to you, Naomi. So glad that you could be here from that beautiful island state of yours. I would love to go back there again. It's been a long time. Um, Kelly says, "Do you put your hair up?" Um, I have not, Kelly. Not currently. I did get it trimmed yesterday, and the lady did not listen to me one iota, and it's much shorter than I really wanted it to be. Maybe that's what you're noticing. I'm getting used to it. I'm gonna have to. I have no choice now. But yeah, I said one thing, and she was happily doing something completely different. So we've all experienced that. So I know where not to go in the future. It's just one of those things. I miss the lady that I used to go to before the pandemic started, but where she used to work is totally out of business. So I'm on the search for the right fit for me. So um, got a lot of comments loaded here. Well, let me go ahead and tell you about some other things that I got going. Um, let's see. I did that, did that, did that. Okay, we haven't talked about CGOA yet, but CGOA, I did mention to Lynn, not to Lynn, to Wanda. I didn't know if she was going. If you guys are considering going, this is the time to sign up because we're getting close. We're getting within 5 to 6 weeks of the conference. And this is the time when people start thinking, oh, yeah, I got to sign up and I got to get my hotel reservation. And oh, yeah, I got to sign up for classes. And this is a time when classes start to fill. The classes have not filled yet. Part of that is it's one of the first couple of conferences after or on the heels of the pandemic, and understandably people are still nervous about being out and about. I understand that, but we are out and about and trust in the Lord, and so thankful to be able to see people's faces and smiles again. That just so blesses me. um but I am going to be at the conference, in whatever the protocol that is necessary will be followed there. I know that there's going to be plenty of spacing between the people, so you don't have to worry too much about being too close to somebody. Um, but I'm going to be teaching. See, the dates for this are July 20th through the 23rd. It's going to be in New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans. I'm looking forward to going, and it's going to be at New Orleans Marriott Warehouse Arts District. That's the name of the hotel. If you go to, I have a link in the video description that you can go to and get all the information you need. I'll be teaching 4 classes there that are crochet classes. Going to be teaching how to design your own texturized poncho on July 21st. How to crochet the Aran sampler scarf on July 22nd. And on the 23rd, I'm going to be teaching 2 classes, turning easy crochet fabric into your favorite scarf or shawl. And that's a 3-hour version. And another class called I Love Crochet Cables. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, please check it out. They're gonna be like 8 other teachers there. Lots to choose from. And if you are interested at all in, let's say, starting a crochet business, or designing or submitting for public your personal designs for publication to magazines, or you're thinking about book publishing or anything like that, I would highly recommend that you sign up for the Professional Development Day at CGOA. That would be on, let me get the date for you. I should have put that down on my notes. um, Okay, where are we? Okay, it's on the 20th. So July 20th. It's an all day event, all day of listening. There's going to be like a lecture, where everybody listens, and there are going to be breakout sessions where you can choose. There's going to be a breakout session where you can choose 2 different classes of, like, I believe 4 to select from. And I'm going to be teaching one of those breakout sessions. It's going to be called, so you want to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about what's involved in that, in a very basic way. It's like what to do if you just want to get started. It's not going to be, you know, all your technical questions of how to work your computer answered. It's not going to be one of those. It's going to be basically a 30,000, the view of the landscape from about 30,000 feet, and then if I think that will be very helpful for you if that's something you're interested in. And of course, once you get into it, it's a continual learning curve. It is for me. Even now, I'm always learning and trying to make things better as I go. Then I'm going to also be teaching at the end of the overall session on photography for crochet, basically how to take great photos. Um, and it's kind of going to be kind of geared more towards a novice, or just towards regular people. This is not for people who've ever photographed for National Geographic or anything like that. I mean, it's not going to be super highly technical, but I think there are going to be enough basics, um, since it's only an hour's worth of presentation there. I know that sounds like a lot, but I'm really having to hone it down, on what's important, and I'm going to try to have examples, and so that I'm not just talking and you're not just seeing words, but you're seeing visual things of what I'm talking about, and how to take better photographs. And even if you don't want to take photographs of your crochet, um, I think it's just in general you would learn how to take better photographs. I've learned a lot by preparing even for this class, and two of my children are cinematic arts professionals, really working in the film industry. So we've learned a lot. I mean, I created Beast with my kids, with that, and maybe unintentionally, but so now two of them that is their livelihood. So just helping my kids through that journey. I have learned a lot. We've learned a lot from each other. They've learned from me. I've learned a ton more from them, and I definitely want to share that with you guys. So Professional Development Day at CGOA. Another opportunity is coming up in August for those of you who live in the Pittsburgh area. I'm going to be teaching 3 classes at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. That's going to be at the Doubletree by Hilton in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, August 25th through the 27th. That's this year. Again, in-person conference. Registration is now open. There is a limit. These classes are very economically priced. So definitely check it out if you're in the area. It's and I'll just say that it is an investment. All of these trips are an investment, and I know for some of you it may sound incredibly lavish, but let me just tell you that the value that you get with your mental health is priceless. Meeting other people who love what you love and who encourage you, you can encourage them, you can bounce ideas off of. It's just wonderful. But the classes I'm going to be teaching there are I Love Crochet Cables. These are all 3-hour classes. Fun Crochet Fabric for Beginners, and Big and Bold Cables. Those 3 classes. So check those out. Again, I think the limit is about 20 people per class, and once that fills, it fills. So anyway, I just wanted to let you all know about that. Well, let me go ahead and see if there are more people in the chat. And Hannah has another question. Okay, from Be Inspired 67. Okay, it says, I am working on a granny square Afghan, making many different styles of granny squares. Some are about 1/4 inch off. Will this affect the overall flow when stitching them together? Great question. And if you block them all to the same size, I doubt it. I doubt it. I have designed throws made of squares, which some were off even 1/2 inch. But when if you have the same number of stitches on the outside of all the squares, that is kind of key. If you have the same number of stitches on each side, even though they may be a different shape, again, you can block them before you sew them together. But even if you don't block them, I hope this doesn't sound like bad crochet, because it's not. Trust me on this. But even if you don't block them, they probably will be better if you block them first. But if you don't, and you still have the same number of stitches on the outside, and you put them together, the sheer weight of the entire project, when you finish it, the weight of this will pull where it needs to pull. It will ebb and flow where it needs, and it will be fine. And what you can do, I definitely would recommend, once you sew them all together, is to block the entire blanket, and block it the way, with an even grid, if that's what your goal is. And then wet it down and let it sit and air dry. Even if it's an acrylic blanket, which is probably what you're working with, wet block it. Just wet it, spray it down so that it's nice and wet, stretch it out the where you want it to be, and just let it dry. It will look fine. It will be beautiful. Trust me on this. I have been bad. I mean, like really bad and did not block. There's a project that we did in this past fall with all the different cable crochet, and some of the squares, because the designs were so different, were some were up to a half an inch off. But once I crocheted them together, I mean, some of them, it just pulled it into shape, and you can't tell that there's any issues whatsoever. And I didn't really have to block it when I was finished, because of the sheer weight of this blanket. So again, I'm repeating myself, but I hope that's helpful. Thank you for sending me that question, Hannah. I so appreciate you being there behind the scenes. Um, Oh, thank you. Is it Minnie? That's cute. Minnie Snowda Rancher. That's a great name. I guess you do get a lot of snow there. Thank you for your encouraging word about that poncho. And Kelly about the top. Thank you. And thank you guys for taking care of Hannah too. Denise, yeah, Hannah's had a rough issue. She's still dealing with it, but she'll be okay. Just yeah, if you think of Hannah, thank you for praying for her, just for certain things to resolve physically. Hey Harriet, it's good to see you. I like those little balls of yarn in your post. They're cool. Um, and Okay, Suki Dog says, it's lovely. Is it made from DK as I'm in the UK? Suki Dog, I'm not sure. I'm catching that discussion. I'm not sure which project I've talked about so many. But if you're talking about the tops, this is made of sock weight yarn. Um, you probably could use, I don't know, DK might be a little hard, little thick. But if I'm not connecting with you, just send me a quick email, bonniebay@me.com, and I'll be glad to answer the question there. And I'm going to try to get to everybody in the chat here, but if I skip over you, I promise it's unintentional. Sometimes these comments are loaded in different order in which they appear in your particular feed. Um, Stephanie says, I've been looking for a cardigan with buttons. I do have a cardigan. Do I have the book here? Yes, I do. Yay. I do have a cardigan in this book, Celtic Crochet, Contemporary Celtic Crochet. This is, let me show it to you. This is the cardigan with buttons. It's right there. I don't have this as a video as of yet. When this book was published, that was not really a thing. This is called the Tipperary Sweater in Vest. It's only available in the book because I don't own the rights to the book because the publisher does. I can put up video tutorials, but I cannot obviously sell the pattern. But I do have these books, just to let you all know. Since I'm back home, I have added them back to my Etsy store. So if you ever wanted like an autographed copy, I do have some of the books, like this one, Celtic Crochet, Made Easy, the baby blanket book, and the other publisher book available. So if that's something you're looking for, a couple of these do have free shipping. Not all of them though do. But if that's something that you're interested in and you want, an autographed copy, I do have those available. But I'm only going to have those available when I'm in town. So when I'm out of town, I'm going to be taking them off my Etsy temporarily, just because it's just so hard to carry all that stuff in your car and have it available. So I'm just making my life a little bit easier, and I think you guys understand that. Let's see. Oh, you guys are so much fun. And Minnie Snowda Rancher. I really like that. You need to get a t-shirt that says that on it. That's so fun. She says her arms get cold easily, and that wrap is so perfect. Yeah, I mean sometimes that's all we need. We don't need to put on put our arms in a coat or a jacket or anything, because sometimes that's too much. But just a little bit over the shoulders is all I need, or sometimes even just let me see, where is it? This is something that I enjoy doing too, because usually when you get cold, it's the core of your body that's getting cold. Even just wearing a scarf, just tie it in back even just a, a scarf sometimes it looks like a big bib, doesn't it? A scarf in the front, do that a little more stylistically, I suppose, but is sometimes all I need, going out the door, like on a cold day when it's cold, but it's not like coat weather. So I put the jacket on, still a little chilled, and I just, put something in the front like this, and it just keeps me perfectly warm, but not overheated. That's the key, not overheated. So anyway, Hannah, thanks for putting that link in the chat. I so appreciate you, sweetheart. Um, and Melanie Lewis, yeah, Melanie, thank you for, um, yeah, for helping Hannah. But this, I'll just say that I don't want to go into a lot of detail for Hannah's sake, but it's a little bit beyond that. It's something we've been dealing with for months. It's just, it's just really hard. Um, we're working on it with the doctors and seeing what we can do. Um, but Hannah is a real trooper. She's hanging in there. A lot of us women, we just have to keep going. We have a little bit of pain, but you just gotta put on those marching boots and just keep on going. And she's done that. She's a real trooper, a real servant. Um, hey Margita, it's good to have you in the chat. And Michelle M. She says, getting ready to make your baby feet blanket. New grandbaby due in December. Congratulations. You are a blessed lady, Michelle. That's wonderful. I hope everything goes well, with the pregnancy and everything. And we have Judy in the chat. Hey, Judy. Thank you for your prayers that for Hannah, for me. Thank you so much. Um, oh, Lynn Geider wants to know, what kind of yarn did I use for the green and white scarf? Um, I don't know if you can get this yarn anymore. This was Red Heart yarn. The kind that was in the cakes that had color changing in it, and that's what this is. The color changed all by itself, and the same, the same for this. In fact, I got this. You're gonna be mad at me in a good way. I This cost me about $5 to make. I mean, cheaper than a real T-shirt. I got this at a clearance bin from Michael's, and I made this with it. It's just a continual color change. Honestly, why they stopped making it, I don't know. Maybe because it was so thin and people were scared of buying it. I don't know. But this particular ball that I used for this one, I made 2 scarves out of it. This is one of 2 scarves that I got from that $5 cake of cotton yarn. So yeah, it's discontinued. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of good yarns. I think people just don't understand why they're not the cheapest in the store. It was not the cheapest yarn when they were selling it. It was, I think, about $10 or $12, but it was so worth the $10 or $12. But it looked smaller than, let's say, a hank or a skein of regular acrylic. But really, let me say one thing about that. You can have a big ball of yarn. You've probably seen, I don't have any around, but those big things of for that blanket yarn, and it looks like, oh, this is a ton of yarn. Well, it's very thick yarn, and actually the yardage is, maybe a few hundred yards. Then you have that little cake of yarn that I made, these projects from, and it looked considerably smaller, but that had close to, if not over 1,000 yards in it. So you can make much more with that little smaller thing of yarn than you can with the bigger. Now the yarn that I used with for these projects, I believe each of these little balls, it's a small ball, but I believe the yardage was over 400 yards, like 400 and some odd yards. It doesn't look like it when you see the little ball, but there is yardage in there. It's just that the fabric is going to be thinner, but anyway, so don't be deceived. And I think that's what happened is smaller balls, more money, and they feel like, that's not, I don't want to do that. But I'm just speculating here. But that's one thing you want to do when you go into a yarn store, and when you see the price of yarn and you're trying not to suffer sticker shock, look to see how many yards. Just check the yardage on it, and it might change your mind. It might impress you. Um, oh, Tracy. Yes, thank you so much, Tracy. Yes, I did get the package. I have not responded to you yet, but I will. Thank you, my friend. Tracy, you were so sweet. She sent me this beautiful. Let me show you. I mean, a present, like, and it's yarn. So she sent me this beautiful ball of yarn. The yarn that I used looked kind of like this, but it was from Red Heart. This one is from Hobie, I believe. This is 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. I'm trying to find what. It's a number two, which means it's a little bit thicker than the stuff that I'm talking about, but it's like a cake of yarn like this, and I think this would work. This would work very well for something like this. So, but thank you, Tracy. Yes, this is lovely, lovely yarn, and I'm really looking forward to reading that book. Actually, I opened the book and I saw a little saying in there, and it was just perfect for something that I could tell one of my children. And I made a little copy. You know, I took a picture of it with my phone and just sent it to my daughter. Said, "Look at this! Isn't this a cool quote?" So a lot of great stuff in there. But thank you so very much. It came, I think, the day after I got home, and I've just been playing catch up ever since. But thank you so much for your generosity. Um, let's see. We have Joni Trishler. Um, yeah, she said she has lots of stashed yarn for the ripple. Yeah, go for it, my friend. Um, and Suki Dog says her first project, or his or her, I don't know what Suki Dog is, um, was a big granny square too many years ago. Yeah, I still have mine. I started mine a long time ago. I remember I was 7 years old and finished it when I was 9. And I still have it. It has survived being on my kids' beds, on my bed as a kid. Uh, looks a little rugged, but it's still there. It's still in one piece. Um, and Sandra Harper says she has a blanket that is over 50 years old that her mother-in-law made for her husband that is similar and still in great condition. Yeah, I used to joke. I mean, I guess it's not a good joke, but I used to say that if we ever, I grew up during the Cold War and the threat of nuclear or stuff happening, and I just said, yeah, the one thing that's going to survive is going to be roaches and my acrylic blankets. But that may not be true because I know acrylic will melt if it gets too close to the flame. But anyway, kind of a little bit of a sarcastic joke I used to say. Um, let's see who else we have here. Um, Jacqueline says, I love the colors of the blanket. Made the classic ripple for my mom with the same colors many, many years ago. Yeah, you can't go wrong with blues. In my opinion, nope, just can't go wrong with blues. Um, hmm. Yeah, Suki Dog talking about the harp thing, the Celtic harp thing. Yeah, it was an attempt to destroy the culture, and yeah, it's so sad. It's interesting when the lady was telling the story. This is back to the Irish tea thing. When she was telling the story, that's exactly what's happening. I won't talk a lot about it, but that's exactly what's happening right now in the Ukraine. It's an attempt to squash the culture. It's just and that has been tried Ah, too many times in our history by too many people. So let's just hope that they are also unsuccessful. Um, and just remember those people. Please just pray for them. Um, and I see the Be Inspired 67 again from Idaho. Thank you again for your question. That was a um, great question to talk about. Uh, Joni says, I was told a long time ago women outlive men because of childbirth. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Uh, I think we're conditioned to learn to put up with a lot, and I think we're trained from an early age what pain is and just deal with it. I think that has a lot to do with it, and it does make us strong. It does, and I think just being able to cry freely helps a lot too. Um, Yeah, thank you, Catherine. Yes, it is. It was a lovely gift. Very, very lovely. Um, And Jan says her first Afghan was a ripple design from a kit from Walmart for $9.99. I was in college in Springfield, Missouri, and made it in a weekend. Jan, I think we may have hit the same sale. You got it from Walmart. I think mine came from um, either, it was either a Kmart or a Zayre, Zayre. Do you remember that? I remember as a kid looking out the car window and you see the big letters of the Z and then Ayre. Then they would all flash and then go dark and then come again. I thought that was fantastic as a kid. Yeah, the crazy things you can remember and don't remember what I did yesterday. But yeah, I got a same one, and my son, who's just in the other room now, he carried the blanket that I made in college. I got one of those. It was a clearance thing. It was like terribly cheap, and I had to get it. And it was 8 different shades of green. I made the one with the shades of brown, yellow, and orange, and I did one in 8 shades of blue, of course. And I think those are the only 3 that I made. And the other 2, the blue, the ones with the blues, and the ones with the browns and the yellows and oranges, were for my mom and dad, and they used them for many years. And even when my dad was in the hospital before he passed away, that was one of the blankets that was with him. So I have that now, and we'll keep it forever. Yeah, very, very special, historically relevant stuff. Um, and okay, Linda says, Brad's mom says, when I was young, I'm almost 70. No way. Wow. Says, one of my smart aleck bosses walked into the office and took one look at me and knew not to mess with me. Oh, yeah. I think we've all got that look. It's kind of like the gazer beam, Okay. Um, she says, she told him, don't even mess with me today or I'll end it for you. Yeah, I told my kids I was talking about something the other day, which I will not mention, but I just told, just kind of jokingly said that, yeah, the 2 of us are going to go out back and only one of us is coming back after that. Oh my goodness, we can threaten when we get mad. So far to date, I have stayed out of prison and that has not happened by the grace of God. So yeah, that's why we need him so much. Um, Hannah says, that's great. That's me if I'm deep in reading a book. Yep. And Jan remembers there. She says, that was my store for counter cross stitch. I made the Afghan in 1978 in greens. I think I made the green one. It must have been 1981, 82, I think is when I made mine. So it's kind of close in there. I made the other ones many years before that, Jan. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. Well, I am running. Oh, I have 2 more things. I have so much to show you guys. I'm just yakking and yakking and yakking. All right, I got a couple things to show you. I have a whole box of this. I am so excited to show you. This is, let me read it, Uptown Worsted by Universal Yarn. It is a beautiful color for one thing, and it feels amazing. This is their higher quality. I mean, it's a higher quality acrylic. Okay, this is not the usual stuff in Michael's, I promise you. It's an anti-pilling um, yarn. Each of these has 180 yards or 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. So it's going to be a little bit thicker than the 3.5 ounces that have more yards. So that's going to be nice. And I've got a fall project coming with this, and I have a box of it. So, I mean, it's not hard to guess what I'm thinking about making. It's going to be a throw. It's going to be out of this. And yes, it is going to have cables. So stay tuned. This is in the box stage right now, but it will be coming to my channel this fall. All the information is right here. I just have to let it go through the fingers and onto paper and onto video. And I'll have that available. Knit Crate. I want to get through this real quickly. Knit Crate. Make sure my address isn't there. I'm going to open this, and just to let you know, I did write down to give you the new price increase. As you know, everything is going up. The value of our dollar in the U.S. is going down. In order for some of these businesses to continue doing what they're doing, they did have to raise their prices. It used to be lower, but the new price is $33.99 plus shipping and handling. And if you're in the US, that's $7.95 additional for shipping, $11.95 for international. Still sounds like, it sounds like a lot, I know. But when you consider, when you go to a yarn store and the price of one of what I'm going to show you in here is usually the price of, it's usually over $20, 20 to 30. But I'm going to show you so far to date, everything I've gotten from them has been of very high quality for the price. And so what this is, it's a club, or you join and they send you a surprise box of yarn once a month. If you are interested in doing this, I'm not pushing this hard or anything. I know that this is kind of expensive for some of you out there. Not a problem at all. But if you're interested, there is a link in the video description down below. It's a newer link. And if you want to get 20% off your first box, which would be a significant savings, that would be saving you, see, 34. It's about savings of about $7. If you use the coupon code Bonnie20, that'll save you 20%, but it's only if you've never done this. So let's go ahead and see what's in here. And also in here, you get information with links that you can go to their site, and they have a knitted project and a crocheted project that you can make out of whatever is in this box. Of course, you can do whatever you want with it on your own. And usually there's enough in here to make a nice scarf or something of your own. So, all right, so to begin with, we have a beautiful little stitch marker. Looks like a little person painting a ball of yarn. So you can always use stitch markers. And what's nice about this stitch marker is it's removable. It has a little, well, I'll just show you. It has a little clasp on it so that you can remove it, which is really important with crochet, since a lot of knit stitch markers don't have that, because you're just moving the stitch marker from needle to needle. But when we do that, we clip it to the strand or to the stitch. And it has, look at my favorite color, yay. This feels amazing. Let's see what this is. This is by Vidalana, if I'm saying that right, by Knit Crate, Lofty DK, and this is, each of these is 48% merino wool, which is a very soft wool. It's not the stuff that you scrub with. It's really a very soft breed of wool. And 20% baby alpaca, 32% organic Pima, which is a higher quality cotton. This is a DK weight, which is like a number 3, so it's a little bit thicker. 274 yards per hank. So that's well over 500 yards of this beautiful yarn. Okay, so that is in, I guess this is the June box. So I'm going to go ahead and box this back up here. And there we go. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. And also they have additional yarn. If you're interested, you can buy from them, by the hank, and they have really excellent sales. So just, if you're looking for specialty yarn and you're not really near a place like that has yarn like this, you can check it out. And it's always fun to get mail. But again, no pressure at all. I wanted to show you a card that a friend of mine, Barbara, in South Carolina, I got together with her. She's a friend in Hannah's church, and was able to kind of teach her how to crochet. She knew how to knit, so she picked up crochet really fast. But look at she makes these beautiful cards. Isn't that lovely? I'll just hold it there so you can see. And then I'll read what it says on the bottom, because it's hard to. It says, you are woolly nice. See that? Isn't that beautiful? But she makes these by hand. It's a little pop-up. So beautiful. Thank you, Barbara, if you're watching. I so appreciate that. I'm going to keep this so I can just look at the little sheep, put it up on my windowsill. with all the others that I love to be reminded of my friends. All right. I have gone through everything. Let me see if there's anybody else. Oh, thank you guys for your comments. And is it Jana's Crochet Journey? Is it Jana's? Am I saying it right? Jana's Crochet Journey. Welcome to my channel. And Sherry Watts. Let's see. She said, I love Zaire, bought latch hook kits and learned how to knit and use a spool to make chair cushions. Wow. Yeah, it was just something I remember as a kid. That's where I got the Zaire store is where I got the leaflets by the designer Annie Ogue, where I learned how to do the cabling, some of the cabling. Now I've added to that over the years, but I saw them on one of those, spiral, twirling stands. And that was one of the only places that carried Leisure Arts. That, and I think I've told you about GC Murphy and Company, another old store that I don't know that it even exists anymore. But the one in Hialeah was there for many years. It was a family outing to just get out and go there. It was crazy. Um, yeah. Uh, I love that story. Brat's mom, that was great. Grace is, yeah, her favorite color as well. Let's see. Oh, good, Tracy. I'm glad she says she likes her knit crate. Or she says, I love my knit crate. Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun to get things in the mail. But it is an investment. And I didn't say this, but one thing about it is if you sign up and then you get it and you're like, I really don't want to do this anymore, you just go online and just shut it down. Just you can exit. You don't have to get it for a year or anything like that. You can just say, okay, I'm done, and they will discontinue, and you're good to go. And the customer service is excellent with them as well, from what I understand. I haven't had any trouble. And we have Tricia from San Francisco Bay Area. Wow, welcome Tricia to my channel, and Miss Debbie LW. Yeah, I'm glad you made it too. I'm glad I saw your name down there, and yeah, Trisha, welcome. Welcome to my channel. If you ever need help finding anything, let me know, or you can just do a little search on the home page. And again, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe so that you can get notifications when I upload new things. I usually upload them either on a Monday or a Tuesday, depending on how things are going in my week. But anyway, I'm going to try to make it Monday, but sometimes again, if you don't see anything new on Monday, it'll be there Tuesday. All right, well, we have Debbie from Connecticut. Yay. And, yeah, and we have Totally Clueless. He says, my first live, never managed to make it before. Well, Totally Clueless, you're welcome. I'm about to end here, but before we go, yeah, I'm way over. I'm on overtime with Hannah right now. So I wanted to read something to you, if I can find out where it is here. Where did it go? Give me a second here. Okay, here we go. This is kind of a longer passage, but I think this will encourage you, just in light of all the ick coming in through the news sources these days. And I don't not laughing at the situations. It's just, there's just a lot of heavy duty stuff. So I always like to look towards the future, and just the future is hopeful. And this is reading out of one of the prophets, Isaiah, chapter 11. And this is Isaiah encouraging the nation of Israel after devastation. Okay, so a lot of bad stuff happened, and if you're familiar with biblical history, it's well, world history, but anyway, so this is he's encouraging a people who are extremely downcast, and I think this is something we can all hear too. Starting with chapter 11, I'm going to read verses 1 through 9. There shall come forth a shoot from the stump of Jesse, and a branch from his roots shall bear fruit, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. And his delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge by what his eyes see, or decide disputes by what his ears hear, but with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall kill the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his waist, and faithfulness the belt of his loins. And of course, they're referring to Jesus here. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the young goat. And the calf and the lion and the fatted calf together, and a little child shall lead them. I'm just imagining, people want world peace. Check out Isaiah 11. This is a symbolic. This is here and there. The cow and the bear shall graze; their young shall lie down together. And the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play over the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the adder's den. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Ah, don't we long for that? Don't we long for that? Well, it is coming. That's the good news, is this is true, and it is coming. And it just, on those hard days, we have plenty to look forward to and for which to hope. So anyway, on that, I just want to say thank you guys for joining me, sticking with me all this time. Gosh, it's 1:16 already here, but I just wish you all the best. God bless, and have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday. Bye-bye.